this is what this whole channel is for. It's for you guys to drop your thoughts, what helps you. If you have some science articles you want to drop in as well, 100%, drop them. Let me know. On that note, it's time for an audacious chest lift. Right. I was talking about Mark O'Hearn, talking about the Easy Bar, and he was talking about this flexion. You get a better flexion when your wrists are tilted. All right? If it's here, yeah, you can get a good squeeze at the top, but when your wrists are flexed this way, they're opened up, you get a much better squeeze right here on the inside. And especially if you turn that pinky up, see how this, you can't see it, you're not gonna see it, but when I turn, and you can do it yourself, feel the inside of your bicep, closer to the crook of your elbow, you turn your pinky up, that bicep on the inside starts to flare, all right? You turn it down, it relaxes, it's softer. It's a softer muscle. So, something that you could incorporate into your bicep exercises. But, yeah, I think I'm pretty solid when it comes to that. It's pretty solid. Now, the only thing that I need to start working is I need to start working this part here that, I don't even know what the technical term is, but where that forearm muscle starts to go into that bicep. I should really start learning the names of these things if I'm gonna, but all in due time. You can't learn everything at once. It's a process, you know? Just like I'm not gonna gain 10 pounds overnight. I could, however, it's A, not gonna be healthy, and B, it's not gonna go where I want it to go. And it's not gonna look like how I want it to look. But if I want it to be 10 pounds of muscle, lean muscle over my entirety of the body and getting stronger, these things take time. Learning all these exercises, they're gonna take time. Learning different parts of the body and how to strengthen them in various different forms, whether it's hypertrophic, whether it's more of an explosive, athletic dynamic, it's going to look different. And you have to experiment, try things out, research, and these things take time. And I'm not dedicating, hours a day to this. I'm, a couple hours a day, that's for sure. A couple hours a day, and then trying it out in the gym. But these things take time. So, all that being said, I will continue these lifts and I'll stay relatively consistent. But like these exercises I've been doing, I'll throw them in here and there, trying out some different things that I like. And right now I'm on, for the chest specifically, decline. I've been liking that. And I've been liking the chest dips. So I'll do that. But to go back to the bicep workout, I think I might do some more specific forearm training. It's a brachialis. I'm going to just go out on a limb and guess brachialis. The brachialis muscle, one that's on the top here for the forearm that goes into the third muscle for the bicep. I need to start training that one, so that's going to be more hammer curls. And what I might start doing is the curls and then switching so that the negative is the hammer variation of that curl. And yeah, maybe maybe the lift will be hammer curl, and the negative will be a curl. But again, I'd say the negative is going to be more important than the, or I should say the eccentric is going to be more hypertrophic than the concentric. And so if the eccentric is more valuable, you're going to want to designate it to the muscle that you want to grow it the most, if that's the science, you know. If the concentric is more important than the eccentric, well, then you want to dedicate that to the muscle group you want to strengthen the most overall, or build muscle, grow in size. But from what I've only listened to, real minimal data research in the grand scheme of sports science, sounds like the hypertrophic or the eccentric is more valuable in terms of muscle growth and growth stimuli. So in an exercise like that, the negative should be the hammer curl variation. Now, I've probably just lost half of you on this. All three of you. My entire audience has now been alienated because they're like, we don't want to talk about that. We want to just get buff and talk about throwing around 10,000 pounds. Well, I hate to break it to you, but controlling the weight is definitely going to be a priority of this channel, and it's not glamorous. Okay? And I dare to say that a lot of the bodybuilders in today's day and age, actually, I'd say even previously, I'm just hot take here. A lot of those highlight videos, that's not their day-to-day training. Obviously, they're, you know, freaks of nature and extremely knowledgeable and dedicated to the sport and craft. That's why they were able to achieve the builds that they had. But I'd say that a lot of their training was not throwing around crazy amounts of weight. It was not like, it was, let's be fair, far supersedes any normal person's training regimen. Like, you know, I'm bench pressing, say, 70-pound dumbbells. That's a light warm-up for those guys. However, their max videos of them, you know, holding 200-pound dumbbells in each hand is probably not their regular training. That's all I'm saying. That's freakish. That to them is like, they probably need an extra rest day after that. But if they're going to be more, you know, hypertrophy focused, they're maybe going to go down to, you know, 140, 130 pound dumbbells on the regular, and controlling that weight a lot more. Now, obviously, you got to throw some, you know, poor reps in there. That's just what everybody does, because, you know, I think at some point, this is not scientific whatsoever, this never is that this kind of goes on the same lines as, well, is it better to, you know, once you can't really control the weight and you're stuck, do you kind of heave it, jolt it up so that you can finish that last rep? Or do you bang out some partial reps? Because now you might, you know, over time start to accrue injuries or start to get some joint pain because of those partials, because you're not controlling the weight. This is where you really start to break down those muscle fibers. So from a muscle growth perspective, you're doing a lot of good. However, let me cut around these guys. 6 p.m. traffic on a Friday in Atlanta, you got to kind of make up your own rules when you're driving if you're going to get anywhere on time. But, you know, do you bang out those partial reps and, you know, potentially risk injuring yourself long term? Because, you know, if you 52 weeks out of the year, if I do 1 week where I bang out some partial reps, I'm going to get a growth stimulus and I'm not going to injure myself at all. That's not going to happen. But if you do that 52 weeks out of the year, is that going to start to do damage to your ligaments, joints? That's the argument right there. And I don't really have any of the science to back that up. I'm just posing the question because clearly it will help stimulate growth. But long term on joint health, not even muscular health, is that going to damage? Is that type of training going to damage long term? So, and the solution that I have is you get the weight up, you do the partial reps, you do it infrequently in your training. So today, I haven't really been doing, or I should say in the past week, I haven't really been doing partial reps. I've really only just gone until I can't lift anymore, and then I set down the weight. Very safe, very, very secure. Safe way of training. But now, let's say today I'm going, you know what, I'm going to bang out a few extra partials just so I can get that extra growth stimulus. Just know that I'm taking out of the quote-unquote health bucket of my joints. And so because I'm doing that, I'm going to need to recover a little bit longer. You know, get more rest, take some glucosamine. You know, I have to look at a little bit more of what supports joint. You know, I could do some soft tissue repair, recovery, quite a few things. Just listening off the top of my head. But yeah, so it's like, okay, if you are going to push yourself to that level, you definitely need to pay it back in recovery. So, not really an answer per se, more just setting up a situation for you guys. And if you guys have thoughts or answers that helps you guys and you want to weigh in on this, this is what this whole channel is for. It's for you guys to drop your thoughts, what helps you. If you have some science articles you want to drop in as well, 100% drop them. Let me know. Maybe I'm thinking about this incorrectly. Maybe maybe that's not the case, you know? So let me know. That's we all learn better together. All right? Information should not be hoarded. It should be given, you know? And on that note, it's time for an audacious chest lift. All right? Catch you on the inside. Okay. So I am significantly warmed up. Took a lot longer of a warm-up this time around just to make sure that the shoulder is warm, my right shoulder, because I've been having some impingement for a while now and it doesn't seem to be getting better, so I'm just going to make sure that I'm warmed up first before I really go after it. All right, warmed up. I got the pad back here, so we're gonna get a major stretch at the negative of this motion. And I'm really gonna focus on the flexing of the top part, the top shelf of the pec. And I'm gonna see, get a good pump in. Getting double digits pretty consistently on the first set. I'm gonna keep it at this actually. See if I can hit 12s the entire time. Or I'm sorry, 10s or 11s the entire time. Ooh. Okay. Now the question that I'm going to ask now is, where's the best part to grab on the bench? I tend to go pointer finger on that groove here, and I've heard of various different ways. You know, sometimes it's not even about where that groove is, because I don't know if different bars make different distances for when this groove happens. But another one could be just wherever your hand is kind of in line with your elbow on that negative, or slightly inside, so he wants outside, you know? All right. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do some rear delts soon because mine's on fire when I do bench. Ooh, yeah. Risque. Risque. All right. So I think that was eight reps, counting that last one. Now, kind of what I was focusing on in this last set in particular was not just thinking about pushing up the weight, but actually making it feel like, and this is a trick that my jiu-jitsu coach told me, my jiu-jitsu coach told me, is you actively think of pulling it back down towards you. And again, that's just another form of control of the weight. You're not just trying to hold it off, and then push it back up. You're actively encouraging that tension the entire way down, making it so that you can control the weight the entire way down, hold a little bit, and go back up. So, good stuff. I think I'm going to just switch this to a decline. I'm not going to use the Smith machine. I'm just going to use some dumbbells. Call it another change of plans. This time, moving over to this chest press machine instead with these handles. And the emphasis is going to be kind of taking out all of the stabilizing muscles and just focusing solely on the pec. All right, and I'm gonna use just a bit of a grip variation. So instead of being out here, I'm gonna have my thumbs turned down slightly this way so that I can get a nice squeeze at the top. Out this way, keeping those shoulder blades retracted and down, and just getting that flex right here. Holding it, coming back out. So, really get that squeeze and that kind of that upper top flexion that we're looking for. So, because my rear delt is really acting up a little bit, so I probably need to do some strengthening on that at the end of this. All right, let's throw a little bit of weight on there and move it around. Way more this time. Onto some chest dips. Yeah, maybe if I lean forward more, it's going to be less on the chest. Those first reps, they feel good, but those last, 2 or 3, they always feel way tighter on the front delt on my left side. Look at that. Form was good, and I got 10 reps that time with hardly any pain, at least not any more than there was last time. Good technique, reigns supreme. Impromptu switch up. Just because of the kind of impingement that I'm getting, I'm just going to do some pullovers instead. Help stretch and strengthen the chest. And these pullovers are always do me good. I learned these back when I was doing a lot of the ATG stuff. So they're doing a lot of mobility focused strengthening. Strength under like maximum flexibility. So these is kind of the upper body version of that. Theirs of course was mainly lower body focused, but this is like the upper body version of that. So do a couple of these and I think we'll move over to shoulders then.
Oh.